because Darby Allin and Hangman Adam Page are actually beaten down and they actually cannot compete. What happens is that the Undisputed Kingdom come down. Adam Cole says, you know what, we're actually the AEW Tag Team Champions, because since they're not defending the titles, you know, we get it because there is a vacancy. And then what happens is Tony Khan comes down and he actually says, you know what, I can't believe you guys did this. So what I'm going to do is that, you know what, I could easily just give you guys the titles, but we're not going to do that because obviously I don't give it to a bunch of punk bitches. So the people who have the second most points are actually going to challenge you, and then the Young Bucks come out. So you see the Undisputed Kingdom and the Young Bucks actually have a match, and for the vacant AEW Tag Team titles, the Young Bucks actually win this. Blood and Guts 2024. So Tony Khan wants to have more pay-per-views, so he's going to make Blood and Guts an official pay-per-view. There should be a 5-on-5 men's match, and there should be a 5-on-5 women's match, just like in the Royal Rumble. But I do hope that with Tony Khan, he definitely makes a women's match and puts a compelling story to that, because I do think that that would be very important. It can't just be the guys having a Blood and Guts match, and I actually think that's going to inspire the women to actually raise the bar. And I really want them to see the AEW women be like the TNA Knockouts in a way, where it's just like these tough bitches that are willing to fight and rumble. With the men's Blood and Guts match, what I want to do is Roderick Strong, Wardlow, Samoa Joe, Jungle Boy, and a mystery partner versus MJF, The Acclaimed, Swerve Strickland, and Luchasaurus. 3 people actually come down to the ring, and one of them is actually the mystery partner. And then they all come in and they actually get the advantage, and then the Undisputed Kingdom actually wins the Blood and Guts match. And the final member, the mystery member, is actually revealed to be Hangman Adam Page. The 2 other people take off their masks as well, and it's revealed to be Matt and Nick Jackson. Then at the very, very end of the match, you actually see Darby Allin return, and he looks very furious. He's actually holding the skateboard covered with thumbtacks. It sets up Darby Allin versus Jungle Boy, Darby Allin versus Adam Page. At Forbidden Door, I would do Darby Allin and The Acclaimed versus the Young Bucks and Adam Page. I would have Max Caster actually get the pinfall, because I do think that they really need to put the Acclaimed in a bigger light. And then also this could set up, you know, a future World Heavyweight Championship match by featuring Max Caster very strongly. I want to see Darby Allin versus Adam Page, and this is actually going to be a casket match. And then what happens is that before the match starts, you hear Sting's music, and Sting and Ric Flair are actually the special ring announcers. What happens is that he puts Adam Page inside the casket, and then he climbs a very tall ladder and does like a coffin drop onto the casket and does damage to Adam Page that way. MJF, Darby Allin, and Swerve Strickland versus Adam Page and the Young Bucks. And definitely in this match, I want to see Adam Page actually win this one, because I do not want to turn him into like a jobber type of wrestler, and I'll actually have him beat Swerve Strickland this time. RVD versus Darby Allin. And the reason why I want to do this is for a couple of reasons. That RVD is actually a Japanese wrestler in the sense that he's wrestled for Japan for a couple of years. And I also think that with a lot of the Forbidden Door matches that I've booked in the past, that sometimes if a storyline is better, I'll have those wrestlers wrestle within the storyline. But I do think in Wrestle Dream, I do want to have a bit of a fantasy match. And I also like that idea that since RVD can go, it actually is good for Darby Allin to wrestle a legend like RVD. And then also the other thing I want to do is that at this point in history, I do want to have Wardlow drop the AEW Championship to Adam Cole. And the way that I would do it is that Adam Cole gets the Undisputed Era to beat down Wardlow, and then Adam Cole becomes champion. And definitely when they're about to beat him down again, MJF comes down and he actually rescues Wardlow. So that way, you're going to set up a tag team of Wardlow and MJF. And they actually have a couple of promos talking about, you know what, MJF used Wardlow, and now MJF kind of realizes that, you know what, when he lost all of his friends, you know what, he doesn't want to go back to that. And then Wardlow's kind of like, you know what, I was kind of vindictive, and sometimes, you know, going down the path of vengeance is not good. Because I do think that with MJF, the big message that they can kind of teach the fans and also kids who watches it is, you know, friendship and the power of friendship versus, you know, the power of being fake and using people. I want to, at Full Gear, have Adam Cole versus Darby Allin. What I would do is set up a match of Wardlow and MJF versus the Young Bucks. And this would actually be a really great match. And I would actually have this be like a tables, ladders, and chairs match. So that way the Young Bucks are being decimated. And then also I would set up a match of the Acclaimed versus the Undisputed Kingdom. And it would be the same situation. It will actually be a street fight because Max Caster's known for having street fights. And this is actually good because then what happens is that there's going to be no interference and nothing like that. And once again, you know, Sting comes down and he actually does another just you know, commentary. And the reason why I want to have it like this is obviously Sting is just showing up as an emotional support. And it's also a big moment to see him pass the torch to Darby Allin. And then at World's End, what I would do is have Swerve Strickland versus Darby Allin. And then I want Swerve Strickland to win this for a couple of reasons. That, number one, a lot of people want to see Swerve Strickland win. And I want Darby Allin to be that champion that goes up and down the card. And that would actually be really good. As I said with World's End, I want to see the Continental Classic where the finals are actually Powerhouse Hobbs versus Luchasaurus. And because Powerhouse Hobbs is a heel in the Don Callis family, I do want to see him actually win. And then one day you could even have a babyface Swerve Strickland versus a heel Powerhouse Hobbs. And then also, one of the other reasons why I want Darby Allin to actually lose the title is that I want him to be a Grand Slam champion. In 2025, he'll go after the Continental title, and he'll go after the international title as well. So after Darby Allin wins the international championship, Tony Khan will come out and declare Darby Allin the first Grand Slam champion. And what he will say is that a Grand Slam champion in AEW is the world champion, the tag team champion, or any of the tag team or trios titles. And then he'll also say it's the TNT title, and then he's also saying it's the international title. And that establishes what a Grand Slam champion is. And then you'll also say a Triple Crown champion in AEW is somebody who holds the world title, the tag team or trios title, and then actually a TNT or international title. And then also for being one of the 4 pillar members, I think that this would be a great usage of Darby Allin. Since he does want to be somebody climbing Mount Everest, I think that it would also be cool in some ways to kind of feature his journey either in a video series, and also too that he should be a big ambassador for the company. So you have MJF, a bit of the jerk wrestler, and then you also have Darby Allin as more of the babyface all around. And then actually this would be a great way to use Darby Allin and really establish him as definitely one of the 4 pillars that are accomplishing things.